Hi again, it's Jen at Learn English with BeGlobal, and today we're going to learn about how to speak English fast. Okay, so how do we go from a normal English phrase to a faster informal contraction? Let's take a sample, okay? A normal English phrase is going to. The faster informal contraction is gonna. Going to gets smashed together, contracted together, turns into gonna. Going to. Get rid of the TO, get rid of the G. Gonna, going to. Okay, that's how that works. If you listen to popular music, you hear this a lot. Gonna. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Here's a very common example. Taylor Swift was kind enough to sing the song Shake It Off. A big part of her song uses our informal contraction. Because the player's gonna play, 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 and the haters gonna hate, hate, hate. Baby, I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake it off, right? So, what she's trying to say is the players are going to play, the haters are going to hate, and she's just going to shake it off. And you should too, apparently. So, going to turns into gonna. If you know this song, you're already speaking English fast. Good for you. How about another example? Okay, how do we get to wanna? Wanna get some coffee? Well, let's start with the original phrase. Do you want to? That's the normal phrase, right? Then faster, you wanna. So, gotten rid of the to, right? Gotten rid of the do. We'll talk about that. Do you want to? You wanna. And then it goes to wanna, fastest. Wanna get something to drink, right? So the same rule applies, right? If gonna comes from a shortened version of going to, you wanna or wanna comes from a shortened version of do you want to, right? So sometimes English speakers will omit the question word do and just raise their voice at the end of the sentence to signal that it's a question. You wanna, right? You wanna go see a movie. That's a shortened version of do you want to go see a movie? You can also use wanna in the first person. I wanna, right? I wanna get ice cream. That's short for I want to get ice cream. So let's look at a little bit different informal contraction, okay? This one is gimme. Now, the original form of gimme is would you give me? And even more shortened is give me. And then finally, the fast way to say it, gimme. If you want help from someone, you might say formally, would you give me a hand? Meaning, can you give me some help? But the fast way we would say it is, give me a hand. Or, give me some help, right? So, normal, would you give me? Shortened even more, faster, give me. The fastest, what you will commonly hear, gimme, gimme. Now, I hope this doesn't happen to you, but if a scary person comes up to you and says, give me your money, well, you're being robbed, right? So the robber is not going to say, give me your money. He or she is going to quickly say, give me your money. So another informal contraction we use is didya. Now, what does didya sound like to you? Didya. Well, you're probably guessing, did you, right? It's just a matched together form of did you. We say this quite a bit. Did you know? Did you know? Right? And we use the J sound because the D makes it easier to turn the U into a J sound. Just did ya. Okay, so we just kind of drop that Y sound totally. Alright? So we will say, did you know? Or, did you hear that? If you hear something that makes you nervous, you don't say slowly, did you hear that? You say, did you hear that? You say it fast, right? So that's what this stands for, did you? Did you hear that? Now, you can also use this phrase in the present tense, this shortened version. So, do you changes to do ya. Do ya? So there's no D at the end of this one, so we're able to keep the Y sound. Do ya? Do ya want to talk? We might say that. Instead of do you want to talk, do you want to talk? Now there's another phrase that is similar to this, and it is would ya. Can you imagine what would ya is a contraction of? It is would you. So, would you, the D at the end, right? Our D here, again, turns the Y sound into a J. So, would ya? Would you go to the bank for me? Would you let me borrow your car? Would you let me borrow your car? So you can see how these will move quickly into just a whole new word. So we learned about would ya. Would you like me to come? That's the short form of would you like me to come? Or would you get my phone? Would you give me your phone? Or would you give me my phone? And again, with would ya, you can do the same with the present tense. Will you turns into will ya. Will ya. For example, if you want to know if your friend gets home okay, you can say, will you give me a call when you get home? Will you give me a call? That's shortened for, will you give me a call? Right? So, would ya and will ya. Now the next one we'll look at is whatcha. Whatcha. So, it's in the same kind of area of using the word you at the end, right? So, this shortened phrase can incorporate 3 different verbs. Are, have, and do. Okay, so we'll start with are. The shortened phrase, whatcha, begins with, what are you? Okay? Then faster, what are you? What are you? So that can be a shortened phrase as well, an informal contraction. The fastest one you'll hear, though, is whatcha. Whatcha. So, the cha comes from the T sound. Do you hear that? Whatcha. So we're just dropping the U, dropping the R, just whatcha, cha. U turns into cha. Okay? So, what are you going to do? What you going to do? What you're going to do, then what you're going to do. For example, you find out your friend failed a class, you might say, what you gonna do? In other words, what will you do now? So, I mentioned that the informal contraction, whatcha, it incorporates three verbs. It can incorporate three verbs: are, do, and have. Now we looked at are, and now we're going to look at do. So you start off with the normal phrase, what do you? Or what did you? You can use the present tense or the past tense to ultimately end up with whatcha. So, what do you? Faster. What'd you? What'd you? And then whatcha. Whatcha. So, for example, what do you know becomes what do you know? What you know? What do you know? What you know? Or you can also say, what did you say? What'd you say? What you say? What you say? I didn't hear you. What you say? Now, I would really not recommend saying what you say ever to a professor or a boss, anyone in authority. So, what you say, save that for your friends, okay? But so this is an example of using the verb do in the phrase whatcha. Well, now let's look at how the verb have is incorporated into the informal contraction whatcha. So the formal way we would say is what have you ... The compressed way, the mashed together way, faster, what have you? What have you? What have you? Fastest, whatcha? But what I want to tell you is that there are just a couple more phrases that I think you should know. And the phrase we're going to talk about now is gotta. Gotta. So gotta is like got and to got married, they had a baby, and had gotta. We say this all the time. Gotta. Alright? And commercials are always saying, you gotta have this. You gotta have this. Or, you gotta try this. You gotta try this. The formal way to say something like gotta would be, you have got to blank. Okay? A way that you will hear this a lot is, gotta go, I gotta go, or I gotta run. So if someone's in a hurry, they don't have time to say, I have to go. They just say, I gotta go, I'm late for class, or I'm late for work. Well, are you ready for our next two informal contractions? They are kinda and sorta. Now, they really mean the same thing. So, you're learning two informal contractions that mean the same thing. So, this is a good thing. And again, it is just the combination, kinda is a combination of kind and of. Kind of. Kinda. Sort of. Sort of. So we drop off the of and put in an A sound, and it's just quicker to say. So an example might be, well, in the original form, an example might be, I kind of like exercising. Or I sort of like exercising. But usually you'll hear someone say, I kind of like exercising. I sort of like exercising. You don't hear the of at all in that. And what it's communicating is, I don't totally like exercising, or I don't love exercising. I kind of like it. I sort of like it. I just want to thank you for watching, and if you like this video, hit subscribe and then leave a comment below.